Okay, let us begin.
Yes, Jerry.
Something like a teacher there.
Yeah. Welcome to the first ever live recording of the Middle 8 podcast. If you haven't noticed, we have a live audience in the room. And big up everyone that's here. We just had some nice food and some chats and some hangs. Come on! Do you want to be All right, my name's Cherry V.
I'm Jermaine Riley.
And I'm Ricardo Williams.
And this is the Middle 8 podcast. Right.
Do.
So we're going to get into a couple topics today. We're going to get into some topics today surrounding 2021, surrounding Christmas, surrounding the music industry, surrounding R&B, both UK and worldwide. And we're just going to get into it. So I think Jermaine is going to lead. Are you going to lead and
No.
be the
Come on, Jermaine.
be the usher today?
Yeah, man. All right, what's first on the list?
So we have a series of topics that we're going to
We have a series of topics that I threw into the WhatsApp group, which were ignored.
What are you talking about?
No,
Hey, they're ready, you know.
everyone, you know, the reason why we haven't done a podcast in a minute is because real life happens, innit?
That's it,
And
right.
like, it's just been a bit up and down, and certain people want to have pitney, and certain people. So yeah, life happens, and we kind of we keep obviously checking in with each other to see like what's going on or whatever. When's the next one? But because we realized it was so much time had passed, we thought that we might. You all right?
The cheesecake must be sweet in her, bro.
20-second rule.
20 seconds. That's extended to 20 seconds because the food is so good.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a certain time has passed. Like I think it's been about 5 months.
Yeah, it's been long.
Just because, yeah, life, the pandemic, obviously things are adjusting. We're adjusting, new jobs, new career paths, and all the rest of it. DJs and
DJ and that. Do you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about no. You know why?
Yeah, go for it.
Because like we've obviously had that conversation like between us, whatever. But what made you like want to do the DJing thing?
Become a broke.
You're silly. You're so silly.
Do you know what? I just have a person, yeah. I'm definitely a creative. I mean, I'm not saying
Right.
it obvious here, but there's so many things I want to do. Like, and I don't talk about this often. Like, obviously, I'm a musician. I want to DJ. I want to act. I went to drama school. I want to pursue that. I want to do presenting. I want to do so many different things. And it's funny because I've been manifesting it for a while, and then I got a radio show on Soho Radio, and ever since that's come about, like randomly, someone just said to me, "Do you want to do a DJ set?" This was in the summer, and they asked me to do a DJ set in November. So I was like, I thought to myself, I can either say no, or I can use this like 4 months to learn how to DJ and just go in and do what I want to do.
That's it.
So I set myself a challenge. Thank you, baby. I set myself a challenge to learn how to DJ in that time. And then I just wanted to go and to pursue it. And obviously the bigger vision is for me to do it alongside singing and make it a performance thing. Not just like me just sitting on stage and DJing for like hours on end, but I just want it to be like a guest DJ thing and add it, just another skill set to add to my repertoire, you know. So yeah, I just want to explore. I just want to say yes to more things. I've spent.
In it. That's right.
I love that. Some singers in the house. I just want to say yes to more things. I've spent the past over a decade just pursuing music. And as much as I'm still pursuing that, I just want to, you know, just do other things as well and branch out.
I hear that. That's it. So how was the first gig?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was a good first one because it was in Somerset House and it was ice skating.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't like everyone was at the end of their seats waiting for me to like make the dance floor
Drop
like
Alex Rhythm, yeah.
kick off the roof. So I could kind of play for myself, really, and say put in some R&B. But the one thing I did notice on that gig, man, I feel sorry for DJ certain times because there might be was DJ special requests. No, man.
Sit down.
I've got my playlist,
Right.
My thing. Do you have a kind of idea of special requests? What
Listen.
this thing for? I'm like, why don't you not just come with your Spotify playlist and play it?
Yeah.
Why
Right.
don't you do that? Like, why don't you just enjoy my selector? I'm trying to be a selector. Enjoy my selection. But yeah, it was good. But obviously, I know you guys branch out and do graphic design and editing.
Yeah, man.
Local production and all this other stuff, so you're familiar with this branching out thing. Do you know what I mean?
Let's talk, Jermaine. We could talk about it. Since we're talking about it, let's talk about it.
Since we're talking,
So
I done done some things as well in the past 5 months. I started. I'm basically a comic book illustrator now.
Sick.
With my own, like it's crazy because obviously people know me for music, but it's like in trying to convince other people, I'm also trying to convince myself that this is my job now. Because I'm doing like 5 people's jobs. I'm writing, I'm penciling, I'm inking, I'm coloring, I'm lettering, and it's just like
and creating storylines.
And obviously come up with the character and whatnot, and everything visually that you see.
Black characters.
You have to donate, because when you go through the Justice League, obviously you got Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman. It's a whole bunch of white people. So I think it's important for a lot of children, including my nephews, to see themselves in the characters. Because since Spider-Verse happened, Miles Morales is my nephew's favorite character. You get me? So that was like a bit of inspiration for me to be like, nah, I need my own thing to kind of, and to be fair, Spider-Man was an idea at one point. And now he's the biggest in the world. So I just kind of thought it has to start somewhere. And me and my writing partner, Glenn Murphy, we just we always have to keep reminding each other that this isn't the thing. Like, comic books are obviously great, and there's a medium that people, it's a great medium that people purchase and they love and collect and whatnot. But this is where the licensings for movies start, and cartoons and toys and all that. You get me? So it's literally like when we're in the thick of it, like we do like a writing camp. Like every Tuesday, I go to his and we just write and draw. And sometimes it gets really tough because it's like, okay, cool. Like I need to figure out a different type of superhero pose. And thankfully, the internet's got a lot of references. I could just Google something or Pinterest something, but you still want to keep it exciting every single page you turn. So when we get in the thick of it and it's a bit like, okay, cool, I've got to start this page, it's penciled, but now I've got to start coloring, and that's a whole different process. We just have to like turn to each other and be like, remember, this is just the beginning of the thing. We just have to put in this work. And most recently, I've just been like, I actually want to reap the same level of reward that I put in the work.
I hear that.
So the more that I'm adding detail is like, yeah, that's an extra award right there. Do you get me? So yeah, that's motivation for me.
I hear that.
But yeah, it's been exciting, and everyone's kind of like gravitated towards it, and everyone says it looks amazing, and like I've got my friends to read it and stuff, and they've been like, this is like nothing I've ever seen. And yeah, man, it's inspiring for me to know that, because I wasn't drawing. I've been doing the music thing, gigs, whatnot, doing graphic design like yourself, Ricardo. But like, I didn't realize that was just sitting there chilling, waiting for me to access it again. Like I wasn't drawing, just needed the iPad and an Apple Pencil. Shout out to Apple Pencil. We don't need to sponsor the team. So yeah, it's been exciting, man.
That's sick, man. That's sick. Do you know what? It's good to hear, because I know like, between us, we've definitely had conversations about like coming out of what people know us for creatively, and so it's inspiring to see on all sides that we're making those moves. You know what I mean? Despite of what boxes people might put us in and how scary it might be to step out. So yeah, man, that's nice. That's nice.
Can I say one thing though? I think it's inspiring for people who believe in themselves that they're good, and aren't getting the traction that they want.
Yeah.
To see 3 people who are extremely good at what they do musically, but still having to diversify and making that work. You get me? So I just want people to see that this shit ain't easy. Do you get me? Like, it's really not easy, and we've all put in time, work, effort, and blood, sweat, and tears, whatever you want to call it. And obviously, you have to switch up sometimes, right? To survive.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's true. That's true. So back to the music. Let's talk about awards, because that's probably like, we got Mobo's on today. Mobo's is happening right now.
Today.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
They never get me invited.
Yeah, well, the red carpet one and that. So let's talk about awards. Let's go for Brits first, and then we'll talk about Mobo's after. So one of the big things this year is that they've merged the pop and R&B category. Well. So
this is the energy we needed.
Right,
I think that's stupid.
So I take it you guys you don't feel that's a great idea. Okay, what's the reason? Why do you think it's not a great idea?
Because they're different.
Right,
come on.
Right.
Simple, plain and simple.
Rhyme are two completely different genres. So rhyme is from UK, hip hop is from. How are you going to merge the two together?
Yeah, this is true.
Does that
True.
mean Little Mix can win R&B?
Well, right.
And that means Cheryl Cole can do a podcast.
No.
Let's talk about
Oh,
Come on. She said, and that
means Cheryl Cole can do a podcast
Cool.
about R&B.
Do you know what? Did it?
She said she cancel it. Yeah, she said she cancel it.
Did she?
Wise.
Skin catch fire.
Nah, she's wise. It's true. See that I forgot about. I forgot about that as well. I was so mad when that happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Brits. Yeah. So, what was I haven't proper dug into the reasons why they said they were doing it. Does anyone know why they said they were doing it?
Because they don't care about R&B.
Nah, that's it. It's true. I thought maybe they're gonna.
I think, me personally, I feel like they want to seem like they care about R&B.
Oh, okay.
That's their way of inclusion.
Yeah.
But they're not giving it its own particular spotlight. So they can say, look, we are shining a light on it, but we feel like it's not enough for it to be a soul category.
So let me play devil's advocate then. If they did do an R&B category, obviously think about the caliber of the Brits, yeah? And the type of artists that are nominated, win the awards and get sort of limelight from the Brits. Who, from a UK perspective, obviously Brits is worldwide, so you've got international artists that will get nominated, but who would be in that category?
What, R&B category?
Yeah, but I'm playing devil's advocate now, so looking at the credibility of some of the artists that get nominated anyway, who would get nominated in the R&B category? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Take Jack James. Okay.
Angel.
Yeah.
Shaka.
Oh.
Yeah. Mahalia. Does Mahalia? Does Nail? Mahalia. Georgia Smith. Georgia Smith. No.
It's R&B. Is it not R&B? Because I haven't listened to it. So is it not R&B? What vibe is it?
Soul kind of
Right.
R&B.
Right.
I don't know.
I feel like if anything's got a bit of, soul, some kind of anything.
Diverse.
Yeah. Anything like that sounds like R&B or anything with that soul, that heart to it, then they're going to put it in the R&B because they don't have a soul category, do they?
But you know what? Do you know what? So I was just playing devil's advocate because obviously typically we don't get represented on that level in terms of on a mainstream level we don't get represented unless we do spectacular. So the Beyonce's, the Rihanna's, do you know what I mean? Those ones that literally just break through and it's undeniable.
Break through the what? I'm joking.
Well, whatever that ceiling is. Whatever that ceiling is. But obviously, statistically, R&B and hip hop, I think at the moment, I think it was like the second biggest consumed genre across the world. So the money's there. Obviously, we don't get represented in the mainstream. So I will never ever look to the Brits for that because I just know they're never going to represent.
Yeah.
We deserve, and I think one of the things, like looking at the Brits now, and maybe looking at America, is, and this brings me on to my next point, is the Mobos. I mean, we have something for us now, and America do that very well. Like America's got the Soul Train Awards, the Image Awards,
Wally
BET Awards. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They've got their essence, yeah. So they've got things that represent black culture.
Yeah.
Very highly. Do you know what I mean? And now we've got the Mobo Awards. Do you think the Mobo's representing us in the same way? No.
I mean, it's nice to see for once this year that the Mobos hasn't done a separate ceremony for R&B and soul categories.
Yeah, 'cause that was getting
Yeah. I mean, that's a nice.
So who got nominated in for this year's R&B in Mobos? Do we know?
It is Cleo Soul, Tiana
sick,
Major 9,
sick.
Bella.
Sick.
I can't remember who else, but those are the three names.
So off the top of what you just said, I think for the first year they've got it right.
Yeah. No, I feel like I saw some names on there this year, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds right.
Was it Western as well, or was that?
Yeah,
female
Western. Yeah.
We always have this question: Are Western are levels?
R&B,
Nah, let me
man.
just Western are levels. Are they R&B?
Do you know why? Is because when you take the lyrics off, everything off, and you listen to the music, it's R&B music.
Okay.
Chords and all the rest.
I think Western, and I don't think it's in a bad way. Just like how I think Western are pop. But I don't think I don't say it in a way where it has that stigma on it, like it's cheesy or whatever. They just make popular music.
Do you know what's funny?
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like in that respect, you've answered the previous question. They're the type of artists that should be in the Brit Awards.
Right.
Because they are, like, the streaming numbers are there.
Yeah.
There's no discrepancy there. Like, they're very popular across, all audiences. So that's another artist that should be in a
I agree.
R&B pop.
I agree. I always struggle with Western because, like you said, I think their roots, stuff that they do, is very R&B-ish. But in terms of where they sit, I just feel like they're just a pop act. They're really good
But it's
at
man
making
spitting
popular
bars
music.
on the ting. So you get me?
Yes, so did what's his
Vanilla Ice,
face?
Is that what you're trying to say?
Robbie Williams. Robbie Williams on Let Me Entertain
Not
You.
Robbie Williams,
Yeah, no, what I'm saying.
Chicago.
No, he was still spitting. Look at we don't call Pitbull hip hop.
Yeah, I get.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what you can't
They
put Western
do
and
something.
Robbie Williams in the same time.
No.
Mad, bro.
No, I'm not even. I'm not even putting them like that. I'm just saying. I just think there's still this line where, like black artists can't be pop. Do you know what I mean? Even though they fit the category, Western fit the category because they're making popular music. You don't think?
I disagree. I would
Pop,
never.
so it's pop a sound. Is there a pop sound?
I mean, it's debatable, but I just personally wouldn't put Western in that category.
Nah?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even like the word, but I would call them urban before I called them.
Okay. I see what you
I don't
mean.
even like the word.
I see what you mean.
I wouldn't call them
Because you have to
pop.
understand as well, JLS is pop. You get me? And Western and JLS that's
Yeah.
multiverses
Yeah.
apart. You get me?
But the scripts are pop.
But you're the one saying that they're
What are you
pop.
talking about?
Like, if you go and check now,
No, I'm saying the script is pop, but I'm saying Western. That's why we're saying Western
they're
ain't
not pop. Okay. So my point was just the script and JLS are night and day, in the same
okay,
way
that's what I was
Western
trying to say,
and whoever are night and day. It's just about popular music, no?
I guess
Maybe
sometimes.
we should just take away all the categories.
So that's where yeah, you're right, because then it is you do get into
Because R&B
yeah.
but it's R&B and it can then take out the heads that are making heavy R&B. Also, when you're making
That's
R&B,
true.
you want to be an R&B
Yeah.
artist. That's what
Yeah,
you want.
yeah.
You're not trying to be anything other than, it's like when
It's
you're
true, no?
black. I want to be black. Tell me I'm something else.
Right.
I'm the dopest character of life. Like that. So
Right.
that's what you're making great music, and then it goes into a category that you can win the award for it.
Right.
That's,
That
But I
makes
think you
sense.
also have to think about like having a pop R&B category also puts R&B in the position to be watered down in the way that society looks at R&B.
yeah.
Right.
You say
Yeah.
pop R&B, then you have these phenomenal R&B artists that never make it to the roster.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you have pop artists like Little Mix, who people are gonna call R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're gonna feel
Yeah.
no, go and sit down.
That's right. That's right.
No.
You're just gonna end up with an entire generation who has no idea what
What's
you're
the
doing.
R&B.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Questions.
So yeah, let's not try and. Obviously, we have no power here, but like, let's not
try.
let's try and let's hope that they don't do that again.
Oh,
It's true. So, all right then. So Mobo's is on today. This is the second year now after they was off for a while, right? Because they were off for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
2
yeah.
years.
But they had an online one, didn't they?
Yeah,
Did
last-
they?
yeah,
Oh,
last
last
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
last
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
So what do we think about the Mobos? Are we happy that they're back? Are they doing the things that do they represent what we needed to represent?
You know what? I just feel like it's that there's times when they haven't done things that I think we'd all agree has been the right move.
Wait,
But
Make sure you get
you know,
say it again. Say it again.
Let's hear it.
basically, I just feel like yeah. I mean, I feel like, you know, I don't think. I mean, there's been some imperfections, and I think like preferences in terms of decisions that's been made. I think by Mobos, for me personally, and a lot of people in this room could probably agree with it. But I'm still here for it.
Yeah.
I'm still here for it as a brand, like what the ethos is, and what the agenda is, and what the goal is. I'm here for it because that's. I mean, some people would argue that that's all we have, and so it means that we don't have much, but we have something in it. And I mean, as a soul R&B artist or whatever, if you are nominated for Mobo, it is a big deal. It is a big deal, and it's recognised. It's a household name as an award body. So, I mean, I'm still here for it, but I guess there's sometimes, even with the Grammys, there's injustices with image and Grammys all the time. So every type of award ceremony has like times it's like, bruv, really? Like, how did that go win over that? And how do you categorize that with that? Do you know what I mean? It's always going to be some type of decision that's made. I feel like we're not going to be entirely happy with, but I'm just here for what it's supposed to represent and what they're trying to push forward.
Yeah.
So the new format the last 2 years, they've started including like entertainment categories, like best presenter, blah, blah,
I thought they used to do that all the time.
Now that was the first time. Last year was the first time they added all of those extra things. It was literally just about music, or that's what Mobo's first for.
Yeah,
it.
music of
Right,
black
yeah,
origin. Yeah.
So last year was the first time they added like personalities, presenters, shows or whatever. Like, was it writers and like
Film directors and
that.
yeah.
Do you think they're trying to do too much, or do you think
Yes.
they're trying to make this transition?
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know it's funny? I'll be very honest. When I first saw that, I was like, "What?
Why?
Like, why are you guys doing this?" But when I really thought about it and how much like people have become so popular over the internet, podcasters, presenters, YouTubers. It's nice to see them get their dues. Like they're making, some people are making a living off YouTube and making a living off content. And they're not going to be recognised in the Brit Awards or in, you know, I don't know, the TV soap opera awards or whatever. So I guess it's nice to give them a bit of a platform. But initially I was a bit like, no.
Yeah. My whole thing is like, it's cute to include everyone, but obviously...
That's it, it's cute! It's cute, yeah.
But like, that's like saying, okay, cool. Like you had the dopest R&B album of the year. where's my BAFTA nomination? Like, this is not your space, bro.
But where is their space then?
They're created.
No, they do. No, they do. There's the M visas. There's that's the only one.
He's about to put a real nomination.
I'm sure. Nah, there is M visas, but that's like the film version of Mobo, if that makes sense. So it is for sort of black and
But
brown.
what I'm saying is,
You get
obviously,
Entertainment Awards?
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It has to be like under that umbrella of things like UK entertainment. So you've got the music and you've got everything underneath the same thing. But obviously, trying to now wrangle everyone into our thing, it's like, okay, there's less space, less budget, less performance time, less all of that stuff. It's like, what's happening?
I hear that. Cool. I hear that. I'm just like,
There was another Brit Award conversation as well. Hold on.
I'm
Oh, was
totally
the-
out the Brits, you know. Honestly. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
really-
I'm
I
out
don't
of the
really
Matrix.
like-
I'm
I don't
out.
really jump in
I've
at all, man.
plunked out of the Matrix.
Because it's not for us. Just not
It's
for
not.
us.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not. And I think the last couple of years when some of people from our community have won it have just been because it would have looked bad if they didn't. Do you know what I mean? Rather than they were on the table in the conversations, it was okay. But you can't. Stormzy had a run that you could not deny. Do you know what I mean? So you could not. And same with Dave. Dave had a run that you couldn't deny. So you had to talk about it.
Was Gets nominated this year
For a Brit.
for something?
No, I don't. For a Brit.
Mobo, not Brit.
Not
I don't know
for
about, I
Brit.
don't know
But
about
this is what I'm
I don't know
saying
about Brit,
though.
but I know Mobo for sure.
Gets actually, that was, you couldn't escape that album
Yeah.
rollout at one
Yeah.
point, but it's just like, why is that not in the in
He's
that
nominated
space?
for Mobo though.
But this is what I'm
But this is what we're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, because even when you talk about, when you look at some of the criteria, when his chart success was mad. I mean, the rollout was mad. The PR campaign was mad.
Newspapers, everything, like number
was
one album, blah blah
wild,
blah.
like, he should have a seat at that table. At the Brits, but
So Brit
like you said, I
Awards
wouldn't expect to
come
see
with
him.
the
I wouldn't expect
yeah,
to see him there.
exactly.
I just wouldn't.
There we have
Even
it.
though he deserves to be. It's wild.
Because when we think of the Brits and we think of people of that caliber, we think of the Stormzy's because they've done Glastonbury and Brethren with Ed Sheeran or whatever. But Ed Sheeran was on Gets' album. Do you get me? So it's just like, why can they just decide to turn their backs on certain things when it's literally, when it's bullied its way through the door, through the ceiling?
Look at, and I think I've said this before. Look at LMA. Like, she hasn't won a Brit. She did.
No, did she want a Brit? I think so.
She hasn't won a Brit, and she hasn't won a Mobo, but she's won a Grammy. Yeah. So LMA, same thing. She lit up the charts. She should have won a.
They just choose, pick
They
and
don't
choose.
want certain
They pick
people
and
in
choose.
there, bruv.
But yeah, the other Brit Award thing, they're starting to merge the male and female now, so there's no
Really?
separate.
Is
Yeah,
that around? Is that like?
apparently.
What's the reason behind that? Do we know the reason?
Do we know the reason?
No. I say that because sometimes they'll put out pressure to say, "Oh, we're doing it this way because of gender equality," or is it just because they just done it? Do we know?
I don't know, bro. I just heard
Wild.
that because I remember I'm plugged out. You get me? So I don't know that much. I just know that that's a thing, and it's a bit. I don't know. I'm in two spaces because obviously certain female artists make songs for that particular audience. You get me? So it's just like, and it's a different type of sound sometimes, obviously, as opposed to what a male R&B artist would make. But at the same time, I guess if you say R&B album of the year, that is including everyone. Do you get me? But I feel like they're trying to. I'm assuming that they're trying to just eradicate the male and female thing. Maybe it might be a gender thing. I don't know. It's
So for
a sensitive time.
I think, and this might get me in trouble. I think that I think for every group that is marginalised, they always should be a category for them. And for definitely women in the industry, I definitely feel like there should always be a woman of the year, woman pop of the year, because the industry is so male driven. we already know the issues when it comes to women and women being marginalised in the music industry and not getting exactly. And so my thing is, I think if we remove that now, you kind of push them further down into this unseen space. Now it's easier to not now nominate a woman or not give a woman an award because there's no space for them.
Yes.
So I think until, and that could be another 100 years, until things are properly equal, we don't remove those categories. Personally, I just think it doesn't make sense.
I agree.
Yeah. Another thing was in relation to award stuff, like all the different kind of like I've never understood when the Grammys do like record of the year and song of the year, like what is the difference kind of thing. Like they have all the, like Eric Bellinger's just been nominated for the progressive R&B album, or like it's like what
does that mean?
Like why are you trying to like chopping it down to the nitty gritty? And I just don't know what the point is. Why if maybe they see it as like a caliber thing, like if say I don't know,
different stages of your journey.
Different like a status and level of
okay.
artists, they'll give it.
Okay,
like
that makes sense.
But don't they class like albums as like a record, like and singles just single?
The song is there's record, song, and what else? And that's it.
Album.
No, because I think
so what's the difference between a record and a song then?
I feel like the record is an album.
No, because
is it?
No, record is a one track. No.
All right, let's start.
On the Grammys, it's just songs that are in the record of the year.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Record of the year, they look more on the production of the track, and with the song of the year, it's more of the writing.
Writing. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that makes sense. That does make sense.
Should have just asked my brother, innit?
You should have.
You want to come and take a seat?
But yeah, what else we got on the docket?
We'll talk about King Richard.
Have
you not seen King Richard? Yes. Nah, no, spoiler.
There's no spoilers. They
There's
succeed.
No one dies. He's still alive.
Yeah. True. It's no spoiler.
Honestly, no, we can talk about it. There's no spoilers. Basically, it just documents Richard. Is his Williams?
Yeah.
Is his name Williams? Yeah. So Richard Williams, Serena and Venus Williams' dad, as well as her other siblings, his perspective or his journey with them growing up. So they're telling their story from his side, essentially. Will Smith plays Richard. I don't know the names of the two ladies that play Venus and Serena. They are absolutely outstanding. So I don't want to do them a disservice and not know their names. But they did a phenomenal job. I've got my opinions about it, but I'll let you guys go first.
Yeah, because you know why? Because when we started talking about earlier, Ricardo was saying, someone said in the room, 10 out of 10, and Ricardo was like, I don't think it's 10 out of 10.
I don't think it's 10 out of 10.
Why don't you think it's a 10 out of 10?
I think the hype around it, I expected some more stuff in there.
Like what though?
I don't know. Like, I can't really put my finger. I think it was a great film. I think it's good to tell the side of Richard and how intentional he was with the girls and whatever. That's amazing. I guess there was some. I thought it was going to be probably a little bit more emotional than I expected. I think there was a bit of a disconnect for me emotionally.
What was you watching?
Yeah, no, but
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
mad to me.
I know. I don't know. Maybe in my head. So I'm unpacking this as we speak. Right? So they're all quiet.
And you can see him kind of looking at you like.
He's rewatching the whole film in his head.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
But didn't you like Venom?
Yeah, I did, and I like the first and second one.
There we have it.
What are you talking about? Venom's
I don't know what
a
you're
good
talking
film. All right,
about,
let's go back to Richard. I don't know. Maybe I felt. I don't think the film was emotional. I think it was intentional, and I think it was like discipline. That's the story that I got. I didn't get emotion. I didn't get
wild.
I don't know. Who's seen it in the
know
room?
what?
Has anyone seen it in the room? So you've seen it. Okay.
For me, yeah, it was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Like I felt like that film was so inspiring for me.
Yeah.
Like in terms of how I want to parent.
Right.
When I become into that position, and
Right.
just like it was emotional. I guess sometimes it feels like it's emotional because of things maybe that you didn't have.
Right.
And things that like just knowing that as a parent, having that blind faith in your children and pushing them, what that can do.
Right.
Like speaking life into your children
100%.
is absolutely
100%.
priceless.
100%.
And that film is a true testament of that. And if that is not emotional, I don't know what is.
Do you know what? Do you know what I'm struggling with? And like I said, I'm still unpacking it. So it's
Did you see the kitchen scene?
kitchen scene.
The kitchen scene, man, where Ingenue says, "Listen, you broke Serena's thing and I fixed it."
So yeah. So you know what?
Then you get like
Some of that is where I felt that connect that the reality of what it was doing to their marriage and how they were both growing apart as husband and wife, right? The film for me, like Cherry said, it was very inspirational and very phenomenal in terms of, like you said, speaking life into your children and then being very intentional about orchestrating the plans for their life to allow them to succeed, no matter what. He did that. He sacrificed to do that at every step, like taking them out in the hoods, do you know what I mean? At the basketball court.
Compton.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? In the rain, whatever, like making sure they were on top of their game. And how it was intentional in terms of making sure whatever deals he was brokering for them, education was there. So they always had something. So if tennis failed, which it was never going to, they had something. I just felt like it was mechanical for me. Like I didn't feel like, and that's what I'm saying. I'm unpacking it, so it's not going to make a lot of sense. It felt mechanical. It was like he wanted this for his kids, and I'm not saying it's wrong. He wanted this for his kids, and this is what he was going to do, right? It felt mechanical. I didn't feel like the nurture. I know it sounds wild.
Yeah, but I think that's the beauty of the film. Because the fact of the matter is, it's real.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's like people feel like if there's a successful person, they believe that they might have a certain childhood.
Right.
And in order for someone to be so talented and so driven and to really practice and hone their craft, they had a certain type of training. And I think this film was very important because it just showed that he made mistakes. Yeah, he wanted his own way in a certain way. And it showed him letting go. Yeah. It showed how difficult that was for him. Yeah. It showed him being corrected by his wife. Yes. It showed him being corrected by his child. Yeah. It showed his child being upset with him. There's so many different things. I think there were so many layers to that film that I feel like I don't know how you could watch it and not feel like and still feel like it was mechanical, because he had his own struggles and he had a lot of things that he had unresolved as well, and he didn't show up as the film didn't show him as perfect.
No, it didn't.
And I appreciated that too, and I think that's what made it more emotional for me, because despite all the faults and the push and pull and the control, he still was able to let go when he needed to, and still push forward the greatest tennis superstars that we've ever had in our culture.
100. Two of them.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying.
No, God.
I didn't think the film was emotional. I felt it was.
You mean it didn't get you emotional?
Yeah. For me,
I'm
just speaking from. I didn't feel emotional in the film. I felt it was very inspirational, and I almost felt like it was
Do you think
like a guide? It was like, look, you know what? When I watched it, certain things clicked for me because I saw their story in Beyonce and how Matthew trained up the girls to be special. I saw that in Michael Jackson and how
Joe
girls
licked
did
him
the
down.
same thing. Right, in different ways. Yeah, boxed him down and all of that, but in different ways. But what I didn't get in the film, I guess what I'm saying is when I saw the trailers, I thought it was going to be hell of emotional. I thought I was going to be bawling all the way through. I'm not saying it took away from the film. But I think what I got out of the film was more. It was more matter of fact. It was just a little bit more mechanical. Like, okay. These are the steps, and this is the way.
Do you think you would have had a different takeaway if you didn't know the ending, so to speak? Like, if you didn't know that, if it was like a fictional story and you didn't know that they won and you knew like all the details behind it, because we knew somewhat of their history and how we used to take them out and train them and all that. Do you think that you would have maybe looked at it differently? Obviously, it's probably hard to say now, but do you think if it was a fictional story, you would have found the emotion in it?
Nah, because I'm not saying it wasn't emotional at all, because I think there was parts in the film.
So it was emotional.
I'm saying it was. There were emotional aspects of the film. For me,
it wasn't emotional enough because you wanted to cry.
I didn't want to bar.
You wanted absolute.
I didn't want to have like a moment where it was like I'm cleansing kind of thing. I don't know. I just didn't feel that connect.
Okay, fair enough.
That's all.
I'm joking.
Does anyone have seen it?
They haven't seen it.
I have a question. Does it touch on his previous relationship and the children?
A tiny bit.
Because that would have been more interesting to me, because that situation was left. And then that's what, as a parent myself, I feel like I might get what you're saying, but I haven't seen it.
But you know what it is? They can only show so much, because obviously Venus and Serena are there to greenlight what's being shown in it, and if they don't have the education on all that history, because it might be that, and do you get me? And I heard as well that they didn't even want to put their name to the thing after it was finished. Do you get me? They were like sideline, okay, cool, and their sister was integral every single day of shooting, so they wasn't gonna say like, yeah, cool, this is legit, until they saw the end result and got that emotional connection and all the rest of it, and saw that the mum was represented and everything like that.
So from the mum's point of view, I had that connection.
So you was particularly looking from the dad's point of view.
Yeah.
Why you're saying you didn't feel no tears?
Yeah, from an emotional standpoint, I didn't feel. Obviously, it's called King Richard. The film's about him. Like, it's from him. Obviously, it's about Venus and Serena, but it's around his.
It's an honor. I think it honors him.
It does.
It honors him.
Does. But in terms of like the emotional aspect, I got that when interactions with the mum. So like when he makes certain decisions and she's like, "Listen, we're not ever gonna do that again."
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is a partnership.
I think she outacted Will Smith.
Me too. Me 100%.
She ingenue
100%. She was
beast.
the light bulb for me in that and the younger actors, the ones that play.
Amazing. Sanaya and Demi is that their names?
Sanaya and Demi, say their name.
But ingenue, like every single performance, when she was in The Help, when she was in the Clark Sisters movie,
she's dope. She is
somewhat underrated. I hate that term.
So maybe
like,
what I'm saying then is
you wanted his performance to lick you.
Performance wasn't on the level that I'm
Okay,
normally
yeah.
You know
Okay,
what I mean?
that makes more sense.
And that might mean because he's playing someone else, he's playing a different kind of role.
Oh, no way.
But I wasn't moved.
No way. If you look at who Will Smith is, his stature, his mannerisms, his expressions, and you look at Richard, you can't tell me that Will Smith didn't act his arse off in that film.
He did.
Because he emulated everything about him. And he's very good at that.
I agree. He is good at that.
But maybe I feel like you couldn't relate because as a father, you're a lot more emotional and a lot more loving than you saw on screen.
Not even, nah.
Yeah, I think it's that.
Nah.
Feel like you couldn't relate.
You know why? Because I saw his love just displayed in a different way. Like, love doesn't always have to be kisses and cuddles and I love you. Like, love is no, and love is you are going to train in the rain for 6 hours because the bigger picture is this. I get that, but I just didn't. Maybe it's just his performance. I just wasn't. I don't know. When you guys watch it, and you can disagree if I'm wrong. Like I want you to tell me the reasons why. But I'm not taking away anything from the film though. Disclaimer: I think the film is phenomenal.
Absolutely
Absolutely
amazing.
phenomenal. Like people should go out and watch that film. I just wasn't. I feel like I said better.
Fair enough. So this new variant. The Marion team.
The Marion variant.
How we feel, guys? How do we feel about our freedoms dangling in the wind?
I think another lockdown might come to the UK.
Yeah, 100%. They're gonna give us Christmas,
No, man.
and then they're gonna lock us down.
Even if they don't give us Christmas, I don't think people will even listen to that. They'll just go with the Christmas amen. But I think another lockdown come, like you said, maybe after Christmas or New Year. I see it pending.
So
My
you
thing
think
is,
another?
we have to get to a point now where we realise COVID is going to be around for a very long time.
Yeah.
So we've got to find ways that we can maneuver around this thing rather than every time. And I get it. I get why every time it has to be this abrupt, severe thing, lockdown, blah, blah, blah. But it's been 24, 25 months where we've experienced, and I get it's new and everyone is going through this in a new, we're facing this new every time. But I just feel like whoever's running the ship, the government, whoever you want to call it, just we're not being proactive in terms of knowing. It's not like everyone gets jabbed or whatever and it goes. That was never going to be the case. So we pushed everyone to get vaccinated. Great. And now there's another variant. But you guys knew that could be a possibility. So what are we doing to look at this, to live with this virus for the rest of our lives or for a foreseeable future? And there's none of that. There's no future planning around. And so what happens now is you have livelihoods just up and down. Like look at the arts and entertainment. It's literally up and down.
Yeah.
Are there gonna be gigs on this week? Are they gonna lock down and then I have no money? Bars, pubs, clubs. Do you know what I mean? Theaters. All of those things that are so important to the world are just in limbo because nobody's really saying, okay, how do we tackle this from a 10, 20-year perspective? But at least try. But they're not even trying.
I think they do know though, but they're just trying to hide that from us.
Yeah, so are we going there today?
I think they know.
Well, apparently they're not going to listen to what he has to say because them find cracking in quarters. The jugs in him bathroom.
But we know that. But see that. But that's not old. Like, we know. We knew
he was on drugs. I didn't know that.
We know like drug use, like in the middle class.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
That's not a shock. That's not a shock. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's not about. For the variant thing, I think we've got to learn to live with it, and we've got to put in measures that are not just temporary. Like it's not just a 3-month thing. It's going to come back. You know what I mean? They keep saying this virus is going to mutate. Cool. So what are we doing? Here's my thing. What I feel like we're not doing is talking about all aspects of health, right? And this isn't this is why I didn't want to talk about this because this is my opinion. But this isn't a vaccinated versus unvaccinated thing for me. I just think when I look at all the data, we're not talking about immune health. We're not talking about other ways that we
Protect yourself.
Protect ourselves as human beings, right? So simple as maybe diet and exercise, maybe the things that we eat. Do you know what I mean? Like what? This is an immune virus. Do you know what I mean? It attacks our immunity.
Yeah.
For a long time, we've been having plenty of health issues.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So let's start having that conversation. Well, this is what I'm saying, and we're not having that conversation actually. And I think, however, whatever you believe and whatever you feel is good for you, that is good for you. If you want to go down the medicine route and take the vaccination, if you don't, that is your choice, right? My thing is present the whole picture. Allow people to make a choice based on the entire picture.
What's that also going to
It's a
do?
request though. It's a
Yeah,
request.
that's
It's never
that's
going to
the
happen.
issue.
That's never gonna happen.
Never.
I do think everyone should wake up a little bit. Like your health is your own.
I completely agree.
So
I completely
you know,
agree.
There's plenty of online courses run by small companies, collectives, where you can go and educate yourself on your own, chemistry, your own biochemistry.
You own exactly that.
You
Exactly that.
understand some of the tomfoolery that they're saying.
Exactly that. And that's my biggest issue. Is and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm
You are.
I'm not, you know.
He always comes with the conspiracies, isn't it?
I'll tell you what I am. I'm a very simple human being. Like, if this cup is red, this cup is red. Do you know what I mean? You put it in any other environment, it's red. So for me, when I look at certain things, I just think, and again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so when I say, like, please don't think I'm a kook. But when we look at a government, right, who has traditionally lied about every major event that we've had in the last 10 years, all of a sudden to be telling the 100% truth is bogus to me. Just like if I was, and that's what I'm saying, I use like natural things to how I reason. If I'm in a relationship with you, Cherry, and you lie to me constantly, and then one time you say, no, Rick, I'm telling the truth. And all of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, you're telling the truth. I'm the fool. So for me, when I look at this scenario, I just think, you know what? You guys haven't been, you weren't truthful about Iraq, like at all. You weren't truthful about Brexit, at all. Do you know what I mean? And now we're facing issues because you told a bag of lies. We face issues in Iraq because you told a bag of lies. Do you know what I mean? Like you weren't truthful about the Falklands War. Like every step of the way, every major event, they haven't been truthful. Why now do I why should I 100% believe what you're saying to me is fact?
But that's why the question's like redundant anyway, isn't it? So there's no point in asking it. How do we feel about the new variant? Lies.
This is it.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And I always say, and I say this obviously because this is going in public forum, I'm not one of the people that don't believe COVID is real. Because my mum had COVID and she was in hospital on a ventilator and almost died. So I know firsthand that whatever the virus is has some serious implications. However we're dealing with it, I feel like could be done better. And the information that we're getting isn't the full picture or the full story. And that's the issue.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like the expectation there is just doesn't even make no sense.
It doesn't.
It's like if in life, love, or everything. If somebody's basically showing you who you are, who they are, and you're expecting something, like it's more fault to you, innit?
Absolutely.
You're just gonna keep breaking your heart. So it's just like I don't know what we're actually asking here, like how we're gonna navigate through it, or if what we're being told is true, and we already know that it's not. So it's just like the question's kind of.
So I guess how do you navigate through it then? Like, are you just going on
one day at a time?
As usual?
I'm exempt.
One day at a time. One day at a time. What other choice I have besides one? And then you can sit there and be like, oh, what's gonna happen next week? Oh, what's gonna happen next month? Oh, what's gonna happen next year? Nah, that's long. That's bare energy. Like that's anxious. Like, oh gosh, I don't know. None of us know. And the more we worry about it,
the media's doing a lot right now, and I feel like obviously I live in this country, but the country's mental health is struggling.
Yeah, that's why I say one day at a time. But me personally, I can't sit here and think to myself, oh, next month, next week, next month, next year, like, oh my gosh, and get myself all what worked out and spend my energy there when I can't change it. So all I can do is take one day at a time, love me people, enjoy myself, do what I can, and then I don't know where we at.
Also invest in stocks and shares.
100%.
Oh my god.
Compounding interest.
Yes, 100%.
Watch it starting, of course.
Don't get me started.
Watch it starting.
Don't get him started.
Buy seeds and feed yourself.
I'm not going to start. It's simply saying the place for it. I'm just big on being self-sufficient. I've had
100%.
I've had many in my life. The rug pulled under me many times, and I think this last time, like with COVID, like I just said, I'm never going to be in that scenario again.
Bruv.
I'm never going to be in a scenario where my livelihood is now dictated and now I can't do nothing. Like, there's nothing that I can do. So since that COVID thing, I've thought, whatever way that I can be self-sufficient, I have multiple streams of income. That doesn't matter about if the world has COVID or not. Then I'm gonna do that.
That's why I started drawing.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what made me pick up the pencil.
This is it, man. I was stressed. When I saw my gig calendar just
Yo, cancel.
I was like, but wait, I've got rent to pay. I've can't tell my landlord, oh, sorry, sir, I ain't got no gigs until I don't know when.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You don't care.
It's like, no, I wouldn't, I just wasn't going to allow that anymore. And especially as well, so I jumped back into doing 9 to 5 when it happened. And I was lucky or fortunate enough that the company I work for, COVID, had a positive effect. It's just they're just working e-commerce, so everybody was buying online, which is great.
Yeah.
But for many people, they didn't have that option. Like they were affected in that way. So like if you were in those non-essential food like shopping, that's your income nyama.
Yeah.
So for me, I think after that point, I was like, no matter what it is, whether I'm working for myself or whether I'm working for somebody else, whatever I do, I have to make sure that I've got control.
So, yeah, security.
So when she said compound interest, yes, 100%. Make your money work hard for you. Like we work too hard to have our money sat down doing nothing for us. So go and research about stocks and shares, cryptocurrencies, which I'm not going to talk about today.
Shut
but
up.
Go and research.
Get educated.
Get educated.
Yeah. Educate yourself.
Get educated. Because the truth is that the people that have wealth are doing these things. And that's why they remain wealthy. Because their money makes money for them every time. Rather than... Anyway, go and research the thing and live life. Yeah.
What's this Tion Wayne foolishness that you guys were talking about?
Go on, Cherry. Go on, Cherry. No? Go on, Cherry. Do we know about the Lani and Tion Wayne thing? No? No. Go on, Cherry. All right. So Tion Wayne, rapper.
This is why I didn't do it, because I don't think I've got all my facts straight. I just know it's a one bag of halawala.
That's one bag of halawala.
Yeah.
So basically, Tion Wayne is a rapper in the grime scene. Has done very well for himself, so he's quite notable. And then
Wait, what's going on?
Sorry, I'm gonna influencer. I wouldn't really call her an influencer. I'm not even trying to shade her, but she calls herself an influencer.
Right. Why did you laugh?
Because I said influencer, and I thought you're not an influencer, though, are you?
Okay.
But that's what she calls herself, so I have to say it.
Of course.
For the sake of saying it. So influencer Lani Good is her name.
I don't know her.
Her name's Lani Good. I think her journey is Backchat. She came up on Backchat.
Okay.
Or that's where she got a bit of the fame, and then obviously has used that then to keep herself in people's awareness through antics on the internet.
Gotcha.
That is her thing. The latest thing is she's for a while been saying that she's dated this rapper who stole money from her. And that went on for a number of months or years, and then she finally named him as Tion Wayne, who stole money from her. I think it was to the tune of £8,000.
Right.
For Rolex.
For a Rolex. Her story was, and it's a bit murky, so I don't know, but you can feel free to Google it and find out for sure. But I think her story was they were dating, they were in a relationship, a sexual relationship. And I want to be right. I'm not getting sued by no one today, fam. They were having relations, and he had asked her to, for either for her bank details or if he could move some money into her account, something around that. However, money was taken from her
extracted,
account for the tune of 8,000. And she has been very upset and vocal about him
online
about him not paying it back and for the transgression. So it's been going on for months where she's done songs, cried on the internet, at every opportunity mentioned his name and this £8,000. He's finally addressed it publicly, and he's denied her story. But last week or the week before, he paid.
He said it was for a gift. He said it was, she financed the watch.
There we go.
That's what it was. That she tried to do it to manipulate him into a situation.
There you go.
So it's on the internet.
Yes. See, there it is.
Right.
My thing is, and I don't like talking about Lani because
she's a.
I honestly feel, and I'm trying to be nice.
That's why I said no, I'm not doing it.
I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be human because I don't know her, and
How do you spell her name?
LARNI.
All you need to do is 30 seconds.
I honestly feel that she has some emotional issues, and a lot of that plays itself out on the internet, and I don't think it's a very safe place to do it. I also feel, I hate saying this, I hate talking about people like this. When I see her, I get a lot of insecurity vibes. I feel like whatever's happened in her life, it has led her to this moment of brokenness, and that is displayed when she talks. And so I don't feel when she goes on the internet, it's a good thing for her to do for her mental health and for her growth as a human being. Well, this is my problem. So my problem, but not everybody's self-aware. Not everybody realizes actually my thought patterns or my behavior is toxic, and I need to get away from this environment. I might need to just shut up my mouth and just sit down and be quiet for a while. Not everybody's self-aware like that, and I don't think she has people around her that will say, you know what, babe, just sit down, like, just be quiet, man. Just tell me how you're feeling, and let's work it out together as friends. I don't think she has that. I think the people around her gas her, and so she'll go on the internet and talk about Tion stole this from me, and then do up like diss videos, and do you know what I mean? Like make it into a thing.
Parodies.
If what she said is true, I feel for her.
And that's where I'm coming from. So that's
I'm thinking that's happening to
that's-
me.
How long were they together before?
we don't know. They were checking.
So how long? When you're in a relationship, at what point do you think it's appropriate to like share? No, they wasn't sharing a bank account.
No,
It was just a transfer.
She financed.
She financed.
Oh, what?
Sorry. Okay. Cool.
So their stories are different. Like, he's saying that it was a gift, and
Right.
she's saying that he's taken it and used it to do. Her story has changed, if I'm going to be honest, because at one point she was.
So
saying
how did he
that
manage to-
She knew he was doing something illegal, and the 8K was around some sort of fraud or whatever.
Right.
And the money's left, and he hasn't got back the thing on the other end, and so now she's left stuck with the bill. That's changed to what it is now. So the story's moved. He's paid. She's gone internet barling the last couple of weeks,
Right.
and he's now contacted the bailiffs that she said was knocking on her door to collect this money.
Wow.
And paid whatever the balance was on that letter. I don't know what's happened after that point.
She keeps dragging his name.
Yeah,
I think he's
and this
tired.
is it. I think he's just tired.
He's tired.
I don't know.
Label can pay it.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
I was more like asking, like, if you didn't see to watch,
Yeah, then I wouldn't be paying it.
Then I wouldn't be paying.
right?
Something's happened. We don't know the full
Something's
story.
happened.
Something's happened, and he's just decided, you know what? For the sake of maybe my reputation, let me just pay this bill, because now I can just move on with my life, and she can be quiet about it.
Is she being quiet now?
Has been so far.
It's not really in her style.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't know until next month when she's bored again and has something to say. My thing, and I said this to you the other day, when I watched that clip the last time, the one before he said, "Oh, he's gonna pay," I was genuinely worried about her mental health. Like she was on there barling, and I was just worried about her mental health. I just thought it's great that we all think it's funny, because you know what, internet is the wild west, right? And a lot of people will see it and just crack jokes on it. Granted, she's put herself in that scenario, so it's like if you put yourself in the firing line and you get shot, that's your business. But I just felt like I felt for her mental health. I don't know how much of it's true. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna like. I'm just gonna scroll past this and just move on with my life.
Oh, should I follow her?
No.
There will be no additional.
What do you think, Jerry?
Why?
I just feel like I know there's so many layers, different situations, so many different scenarios, people going through certain things, people having an emotional like episodes in like, you know, not stable in certain ways. But I just feel like I check out when you're trying to get an answer about something, you go about it a certain way. I just check out. I just feel like there's just a way to do things in it. And I feel like if she approached that differently, and even he said that, even I don't know, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know them personally. I don't know who's talking whack, whatever. But I just feel like if you go about things a certain way, then the results that you're gonna get is not gonna be.
How should she have handled it?
I just feel like it. Yeah, you know what I mean? I just feel like
simple.
I don't know, man. I just feel like taking it on the net is just it's just mad to me. I don't know. I mean, but then somebody could argue that she did get the results. So, I mean,
what are the costs though?
It's catch-22.
I think the thing that's really frustrating with situations like this, regardless of the actual facts, is the minute you take it to the press, both of you get hit with irreparable damage. Like now people are questioning her mental health. Now people are thinking he's a scam artist. And that's not going to just go away because he paid the bill.
Yeah.
Right? Like they both take these huge reputational hits and regardless of who was right and who was wrong, they're both damaged now. You know, so it's like the best way would have been the quiet way.
But I just don't think.
Her brand.
Yeah. And I just don't think she's mature enough to be able to have handled that in the way that. And that's it. She just.
She walks around with a tiara. So.
Yeah.
Well, this is why I struggle with like
Matilda.
I struggle with like being honest and just like being kind. The way she behaves.
Yeah, when you're whomping all the time.
It's like actually.
Like it just starts going,
Every second.
When you're doing that, people lose, like, people start to check out. And it's not like, what? I was actually going to come over to chat to you, but you're just on a mad thing. So it's a bit long.
But I think that's my biggest gripe of that. Regardless of how mad she moves, somewhere underneath all that is a human being, and you just don't know what that pressure of the internet and comments is doing to her psyche. Do you know what I mean? And that always worries me, because what will happen is, I'm not saying in this scenario, but you see time and time again, someone now, God forbid, kills themselves, and all of a sudden every man's like, oh my God, if only we, and actually we was watching it play out on the internet. You see it every time.
What do you do?
That's my issue.
TV watching her womp.
And this is where I struggle. It's like you put yourself in the lines then.
Even if I jump on her, it's like, babes,
chill out. Yeah.
She's not gonna even.
Fully.
It's true.
She ain't looking.
She's not.
Yeah.
Head gone.
That's
Head gone.
That's it.
It's
Sometimes
facts.
you can't save them.
It's facts, especially when you're hot. It's like when you're hot and someone tells you to calm down.
Yeah, basically, 100%. You're not doing it.
It's the worst. It's like pouring water on the fire, isn't it? So yeah. Next question. See ya.
Next question. See ya.
So quickly, the Stephanie Mills and Shaka Khan.
Aye.
The verses, have we all seen it? Have we all seen
I saw
it?
she looked just living her own best life.
Yeah, in her own bubble.
Listen, well, obviously she was under the influence of something, and it wasn't the Shaka that we know and love, that's for sure. She was just instead of her being. The thing is, she can access certain parts of her voice effortlessly, but when she's not there, it was very Queen Vic, last drinks. It was very. She was drunk out here. Either she was high, or she was on the alcohol heavy, or both. But I don't understand why you would get to that point if you was doing this hour and some change performance. Nah, that was not free drinks under any under no circumstance Was that 3 drinks?
No, but you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Sometimes you actually need to know your limit, innit? So maybe
I feel like she knew her limit and she
already from the drinks or whatever she's had.
right.
Or whatever she's tasted.
I feel like we can say that when it's like a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Or like,
She's
you know
a
what I
grown
mean?
woman,
Yeah. Big woman, you must know your limit now.
Yeah.
Teetotal for the last 4 years and she said,
Tolerance low.
You know what I was saying? We were saying that I think she has struggled with it. I'm pretty sure I've seen stories where she has struggled and come back, gone to rehab and come back. So I know it's like I shouldn't even laugh. I know it's like a reoccurring, like it's her demon. It's a thing. Look at Jermaine's face.
Jermaine's not having a bar.
Jermaine, what are you doing, man?
It's because it was nah, man. Do you know what it was? Have you seen what's it called? The Respect. No, I haven't seen the national anthem. She was drunk then as well.
oh, so she's just.
That wasn't her at her best.
Right. Did you see the verses?
I watched 6 of the verses. Right?
Was she what
Well, I could see her, and yeah,
she was national anthemish. Okay.
Maybe it's a recent thing.
Maybe she got back into the.
No, I would never buy tickets to see her concert because.
Because of the verses.
Yeah, she always mumbles. She never
No,
says
but the
that.
thing is, there's obviously there's performances on file where she's absolutely killing, isn't it? And like people have gone to see her live and had a blast. But for that to be, for you to rock up and be like, I don't know if she's gonna be drunk tonight, you know, like, that's a bit crazy.
It's a gamble.
Because it was a different type of drunk. Because she was like falling asleep kind of vibe. Like at one point, Stephanie was like, yeah, trying to do a sisterhood vibe, and she was like. Like she was not there for verses. Like we all know what type of platform that is, and whoever's around her was just like, maybe you should put obviously didn't say maybe you should put the drink down.
Maybe they did it. She was like, touch me again.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
In it.
Jeez, I don't know, man. I
Talking about
mean,
boxing.
I mean,
You guys, have you lots had an experience where you've been on stage and you haven't been present, maybe under the influence of something else?
Y'all never ever gonna get it.
I think so. I think I have.
My brand, baby.
No, do you know what it is for me, yeah? Alcohol and me are not really the best of friends anyway, and I'm a lightweight. And also, the way it dries out my throat, yeah? I'm thinking about the clips. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. And I'm like, there's always going to be some type of imperfection in a live vocal anyway, because it's just live, innit? And sometimes your throat might do a little or whatever when you're sober. If I have less control of that when I'm drinking alcohol, are you mad? And then obviously, full sense of confidence, thinking that you can lick certain notes and do certain riffs clean when it's really not. Nah, I can't take the gamble. I'd rather just like know that I shagged being sober than me being like overconfident and lit. Nigga, put your hands up.
That was Shaka.
Nah, bruv. Nah.
That was Shaka.
I can't go out like that. And even when I'm out, you know, like you be out. I said, nah. Even that if you're out and you're drinking and then someone's like, oh, come up on the stage.
No.
I've been drinking, I'm not getting up there to pick up no microphone tonight.
I'm like Cherry. Like I've witnessed it in not such a like detrimental environment when I was younger. When I drink, anything named singing I cannot do. Like,
the control just
it's
leaves.
kryptonite.
It's long.
And even if like it's one, if there's tipsy in me, forget it. I'm not singing. So I will not even sniff alcohol before I go on stage. I'm not shaming myself.
It's long.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I've performed tipsy
You're mad.
before.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You're mad. You would hear me. Oh my God. I'll be a meme for life. I would be a meme for life. I don't go like that.
Yeah, it's long. It's long for man.
I think I performed tipsy
You're
before.
mad.
I think I have. I think the environment was so dead.
Can you sing when you're drunk?
That I just thought you might as well. Yeah, are we going on stage? Yeah. I think it was that.
Maybe Shaka was thinking the same thing.
Maybe, but it's like full on concert, like
bag.
to honor her whole catalog, like
Yeah, it's mad.
You're trying to get the bag.
yeah, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't that. Like it wasn't. I don't. Obviously, I'm not gonna remember 100%. I know I wasn't drunk, but I know there was a little bit of. I could feel it behind the eyes, you know. So
I don't mess with your voice.
I don't know.
If you,
Bruv, sometimes when you're just doing all of this, bruv, no one cares. When you're doing all of this, bruv, no one cares, bruv.
What is wrong with you? It must have been a gig that you didn't really care about.
Yeah, it was a function thing, little whatever.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like,
No.
come on, drinks is flowing.
Even on the positive thing, you're mad.
Never.
Bruv, I'm telling you, bruv. Get away with murder.
Anyway, how's everyone feeling about Christmas?
This is the first year where I don't actually like. I every year we do a Secret Santa, and this is the year where I don't really know what to put on my Secret Santa list. I just feel like.
What, you do Secret Santa with your family? Yeah.
Yeah. Put the list in the thing.
Sibling in the house.
So yeah, and obviously that's probably a good thing. I've got everything that I kind of want. So yeah, I got to do some thinking. I got to like literally scour Amazon, but also I don't live in a 7-bedroom mansion, so I'm not trying to buy stuff just to fill up my yard and then I'm hoarding stuff. So yeah, it's a bit tricky for me, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas. Just more so to give rather than receive.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to the rest. Like this year has been, like I said, at the top of last year, whenever COVID hit, I feel like I've just been running. So this kind of gives me some space to just pause for a second again. Do you know what I mean? And when everything went back up, I went ham. Like everything I could do, I'm doing.
Yeah, fitting it in, cramming it in. Yeah.
And so now I'm like, you know what? I get 4 days where I can just chill out with the family, and it's Aria's first Christmas.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
She don't know what the hell going on, but it'd just be nice to get out and just chill out for a bit, just a couple of days where I'm not, you know what I mean, just thinking about anything other than just enjoying the family. So I'm looking forward to it. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I'm just Do you know what? I don't know, man. I've got this love-hate thing with Christmas, like a little bit. Like I'll dart around and like do dishes and stuff, and I might say do dishes. I mean like cook and stuff. And that's my favorite part. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it this year. I don't know how I feel like.
Why?
I just don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
Wish I could help.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will be nice.
Wait a minute! What's going on?
You know, like just so honest, isn't it? Like I just don't know how I feel about it. Like I don't know.
What's the pros and cons? Like what's we're trying to what's the pros and cons?
I don't have anything planned yet.
Neither do I, to be fair. But like, I don't know. Family.
Where are you going for Christmas?
Yeah,
I don't know yet.
What do you mean you don't know yet?
I don't know yet.
Alright, what's the options? If we can ask that. That's too personal.
Ria, what we doing?
Right.
Basically, she's got options.
Right.
It's about what she wants to do.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I think I'm still trying to unpack what that is, and I don't know what it is yet. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. But
Okay, I hear that.
But yeah, I think I just want just to be chill,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not like too hectic. And I feel
Yeah, that's
sometimes
fine.
like there's so much hecticness around Christmas, and it's like you do all this and then like you sit down for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and it's just like, all right, now what? Like I've been up from 5 a.m. doing XYZ Walla, and then
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I think sometimes there's a bit of that in there, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try and put my best foot forward and enjoy it the best I can, you know.
Yeah. The running around was partially why we started doing Secret Santa in the first place. Okay. So you only tend to one person's list. You get me? Like, so it just simplifies. Yeah. So obviously it's at random. This year, my sister discovered this app where you basically get the name at random, and only you know, and then obviously everyone puts their list. Obviously, no one knows who anyone's got, but everyone knows what's in it on everyone's list. So the person that you've got, you just get what's on their list.
Is there like a value to each person's gift? Like
We got £110 limit. That's fine.
Well, you know what I mean? That's how still we can get a few things of that.
It just takes away all the, oh my gosh, I haven't bought anything for, like, everyone's gonna get, and obviously it's your list in it, so you put everything that you want within that thing. So you can't be unhappy after that. So it's really simplified Christmas. Last year was £100, and my mum wanted to £10 extra. I don't know what that's gonna do, but yeah, I don't know what that was about. Yeah,
Can take very far.
but yeah.
So what you guys did for Christmas?
Silence is golden.
Eating someone else's food.
We go to our parents' house.
You always go home. Yeah.
I don't go to my sister's house. I'll be with my mum for the first part. You know them blended families?
Yeah.
I go to my sister's mum's.
Same day?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it always goes. That's the first part's with my mum, and the next half is with the big, large family. And then we sit there and complain because they want to watch EastEnders.
People still do that.
I stopped EastEnders. I stopped that time.
Ian Bill is just not aging like the rest.
He's still around?
He's still here.
Anyway.
I thought he died.
From the first episode.
No.
I've got nothing left.
Apparently it's not, you know.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. But yeah. What are you doing for Christmas, babe?
Family. I'm not from London, so I'm away, so we don't do Christmas together. And he has little ones, I have little ones in mind, so when you have little ones at Christmas, it changes your perspective and your attitude towards it. So I think for both of us, it's a non-negotiable to not be able
Right.
to Santa. So, because I know his nephew watches, you know, so obviously Santa's coming. The presents and have that excitement. So we do our own thing, but it's not on the 25th.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw it go. If you wrap up, press pause, stop, clear, everything, lock off.
Officially, innit?
How we gonna end it?
Normally.
Go and say your thing then.
Do I normally end it?
Usually.
Nah, it's cherry.
This is brilliant. This might be
The new ending.
No try, but it's you,
Alright. Okay, so what we normally do, and we haven't done it for a while because it's been 5 months, is, and I'm going to put you on the spot, a film, a thing, a book.
Oh yeah.
Something that,
Oh my gosh.
you just want to share. So if you've seen something, if you've listened to something, you've read something you want to share, tell people to go and check out.
On you first, Sherry.
Me?
No, I said it first. You go.
What's this new? What's new? Oh, Sasha Keeble's new album. Yeah, me too. Just dropped yesterday or the day before. Also Cash-tastic's new album. I like that. Really like that one. King Richard film.
Yeah, big film.
Thought it was really good. Yeah, Cleo Soul as well. Mother. Because I don't think we spoke about that since the last. Yeah. Some dope projects that are out right
Sick. There's a show that I'm really into that I just started. It's not new, it's not brand new. It's called Dave. It's on if you got Disney Plus and you got like obviously Disney Plus has got the star section that's not about the Pitney Dem. It's a show called Dave, and it follows the career of Little Dicky, and Scooter Braun and Kevin Hart are like executive producers of it. But it's hilarious, and it's really like musically and just the story and the character and everything like this. It's sick. So that's something I've been watching. There's this book which I've recently been privy to. It's called The Atomic Habits, and basically it talks about having systems as opposed to goals, because everyone's got a goal, but like everyone's got a goal. So what is the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person? But it basically reinforces putting systems in place, kind of like the Will Smith thing, where it's like lay a perfect brick, and then eventually you have a wall. So it encourages that, and that kind of, after one watch of like the half an hour preview on YouTube, literally changed like me and him's whole like mind frame. We started deleting the social media apps, so in the morning we won't scroll through first thing. Do you get me? And so it's
I still do, babe.
it's them type of things where you just kind of put things in place throughout your day, so it can, you know, streamline your life, and all of a sudden you're like, rah, like man's got arms, and you get like it's a bad example, but doing 50 push-ups while my cereal's in the microwave. Do you get me? Like them type of things. You get me? Like small systems in place. Brushing your teeth while your conditioner's in your hair. Do you get me? Like just small things, and eventually, you know, you end up with the end goal.
What's the book called again?
Atomic Habits. What's the 3 categories? Seen, watched,
it was
read.
just whatever. It's just throwing out. So it doesn't have to be all 3. It was just
I've been listening to.
any one of the.
I haven't really been listening to anyone as well, you know. But shout out to Jasmine Sullivan for winning the Soul Train Award. That's like the last project that I feel like I've really rinsed. But yeah, that's it really. That's all I got.
I've been plugged out. So I don't have.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I've literally just. I don't know what's going on. I haven't really listened to music in that way. I would say. I would say though, funny enough, one thing I've been big about is understanding the whole switch up in terms of where we're moving to from a digital perspective in our lives. So metaverse, cryptocurrency,
NFT, blah blah blah.
NFTs,
Yeah,
all of that. So I would say over the Christmas, if you've got time, just Google it and understand what's happening over the next 5-10 years, and use that information wisely. We are at a point where, like, we had the industrial age and we had the computer age. We're kind of at a new age now. And in terms of social mobility and financial stability, if you just take the time to understand what's happening now and where we're moving to, you could find yourself in a nice situation in the next 5 years.
yeah.
So take the time now to understand what's going to happen and do with that information as you will. That's what I would say.
Amen. Thank you guys. This is the energy we needed for this podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, the cameraman. Thank you for the MVP. She's done most of the organising.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah. Big up to you. That's true.
Trust me. Yeah, really grateful to, you know, obviously be working with like-minded people, hilarious people, grounded people, wholesome family people. Yeah. That's pretty logo that I designed. So yeah. Love you guys.
Thank you guys for watching as well.
Peace.
Yes. Mid-Late Podcast. I'm Ricardo Williams.
I am Cherry B.
And I'm Jermaine Riley.
Do.